And then if you're making a mistake, you'll find out really quick, which is better than sort of hesitating and trying to look for the optimal solution and not doing anything and not knowing if you're on the right way or not. So we prefer to say, this is how we do it. Then we run into a wall, we'll change it 10 degrees, run this way, and now we've got it figured out instead of trying to think about it all the time and overanalyze. Right, so that's a consistency part. And then there's things which you can look into, like for our coders, for instance, for the guys in R&D, you'll say, why do I need to, why are there one space after this and the parentheses opens here? And it's like, I've been programming for 10 years. Why do you need to tell me how to do my coding conventions? So yeah, we have coding conventions even for when we code, because then when, we say this is what we understand today to be the easiest way to look at code. Not for you maybe because you're used to something else for 10 years, but as a group, now we'll all be able to go through the code, and everywhere we look, it's going to be consistent and identical. Even email style, etc. But the point I want to cover today is when you don't know what to do, imitate other people who are here longer than you are. That's like a rule of thumb, okay? How do I sign my email signature? Well, I'm here for a while. Look at my email signature. Just copy it. That's a good start, if you don't know what to do. So learn by imitation is very good. And then teach. Once you know how to do something, you see someone not doing accordingly, teach them. Say, hey, take a look at this. Mindfulness, I'll cover in a second again. And we view ourselves as a professional team. There are companies that like to say we're one big family, etc. And we sort of are. But the difference is that when my kids are not very professional, I don't sort of let them go. It's a difference between a family and a company. So I wouldn't want to be, hypocrite about that. I want to say we're more like a professional sports team, and it's a lot of fun to be like in a group like that, where you should expect from everyone. The quarterback has a job, the linebacker has a job, and that's the only two things I know about football. But everyone in football, in a professional team, has his own job, and you should expect that job. And you shouldn't say, oh, but the quarterback is such a nice guy. He's been here for a while. He can't pass the ball, but I love him, right? And so that's great. That's very nice. That's how you should treat your kids. But in a team, you should expect each of us to carry his own weight. And once, we shouldn't be here, or we should do something different. And I'll give an example on my side. When we founded Django, we came, for a while, we were looking for direction. At the point we came to some success, the company started growing. The customer base started growing, and I felt that the company was like in turmoil. Like I wasn't managing it correctly, and there was just too much mess going on. And so I came to my board and I said, look, we've got to succeed. I'm not the right guy to be CEO. You've got to replace me. And so what they said to me was, this was 2004, I think. They said, no, you're actually a pretty good CEO, but what you need is a COO to help you manage all this mess. And so they taught me what a COO was, and I hired Iran, and he saved our ass. So you basically need to have the right people in the right positions to do the job correctly. All right, so that's about being professional, and we should expect each other to be super, super professional. Transparent. As I said before, there's no bad news, there's just news, and we need to learn from news. So we all need to be very transparent. We need to communicate openly and say this is exactly where things are. For instance, when someone screws up, they'll say, I screwed up here, here's what I learned from it. And sometimes only you learn from it. A lot of times we'll all learn from it if you just look at it correctly. Like for instance, you came into a customer and you pitched some part of our product incorrectly, and the customer has wrong expectations. You could hide it and not tell anyone. Or you could say, look, I went to this customer, Iran, I went to the customer, I pitched this, the customer now expects to get, I don't know, whatever, he's not going to get it, I screwed up. And say, that's great, now we know it. Now let's think about how can we improve that. Oh, you know what? I screwed up because it's not in the presentation or it's on the website. Let's put it on the website, right? And then so now the whole company just learned from your screw up. It's great, right? So we improved. So we basically, you'll see as a company, we have a rule of thumb. Everything is open unless it should not be open. So it's not like, let's hide everything and release it to you as, why do you need to know, Marina? Okay, fine, here. No, everything is completely open except for salaries, which maybe one day will be open, but that's a tougher one. It is, seriously, it's a thought, but everything else is open. You have all the source code if you want. You have all the funnel, the customer funnel. You have everything is open to you. The customer financial, the company financials,